Okay, so this is another example where we have to take the equation of a circle. It's in standard form. Okay, and so notice standard form, like a quadratic, it's got your x squareds and x's and now, but because it's a conic, we have two variables. We have an x and a y. We want to identify the center and its radius. So the quickest way to do this is to write it as in the form for an equation of a circle. Now this is standard form, and the equation for a circle in translated form is going to be this. Let me go ahead and change that real quick. X minus h squared plus y minus k, quantity squared is equal to r squared. And so in order to get it to this, we need to complete the square. Okay, so the first step in doing this is I am going to take the constant and I'm going to move it to the other side. And on top of that, I am going to group the terms that are similar. They have similar variables. So I'm going to go ahead and do that all in one step. So I have x squared plus 4x plus yx squared minus 6y is equal to 3. And I'm basically going to split this into two different parts. I'm going to go ahead and do the x's in red and the y's in blue, and I'm going to complete the square for each one on the same side. So for x, we're going to take that middle number, divide it by 2 and square it. I'm going to add that to my y and take the middle term, divide it by 2 and square it. And remember, I'm running out of room here, but I need to make sure that these guys also get added to the other side. Okay, so the 2 divided by 2 squared, excuse me, let me erase that. That's going to be 4 divided by 2 squared. And so the numbers are simple enough that I know that 4 divided by 2 is 2, 2 squared. I'm going to add a 4, and then the other one is negative 6 divided by 2, which is negative 3 divided by, which is negative 3 squared, which is 9. So I'm going to have all this on the other side. And that's going to make up my radius. So even before I complete what's in red and what's in blue, I know the radius is going to be, 7 plus 9, which is 16. So I'm just going to write that down there. So I can actually answer that question right off the bat without going any further. And so now the other trick is 4 divided by 2 is 2. And so the trick, so whatever that number is, we just write that as our factor. Negative 6 divided by 2 is a negative 3. And there we go. I have my center at negative 2, 3, and I have my radius as 4, which is the square root of 16. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my, let's see if this works here real quick. Yep. I'm going to go to my graph here. I'm going to plot the center, which was at negative 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go ahead and move 4 units out to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Disregard this point right there, and 4 up, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm just going to go ahead and trace it. And try and get as close to a circular shape as possible. And there we go. And there's our graph. And we also have our equation, and we've identified our center and radius. And we did that by getting into the equation of a circle, and we use completing the square to go through that process. I'm going to do one more example just so you have a different example to work with, but you really got to get completing the square down. So make sure if you didn't understand it, watch the video again, look at a different example.